Race fans from all over the world have experienced her in one form or another. It's the toughest ticket in big-time stock car racing. It's the world's fastest half mile. Its 36 degrees of banking has provided some of the most memorable races in stock car racing history. It is feared by many and respected by all. It's comparable only to launching into space. If you haven't done it, you can never fully understand. So what's it really like to throw a 3,400-pound, 600-horsepower stock car into Turn 1 at Bristol Motor Speedway? Well, we're about to find out as Behind Pit Wall takes a ride with the premier cornerstone of access to America's most famous racetracks, the Richard Petty driving experience.
Now here we are for another edition of Behind Pit Wall at Bristol Motor Speedway, the granddaddy of all tracks that is anything racing. The Richard Petty driving experience is here today. They're getting set up behind us. The track is a little bit wet because we had some rain last night and a little bit of rain this morning. So we're a little bit behind schedule, but that's okay. We're gonna take a little bit of a look at a video. We're gonna go through the whole training course. We're gonna ride around this thing, and then we're gonna go racing. So ride with us as we experience the Richard Petty driving experience.
Well, to be a part of the Richard Petty driving experience, you've got to sign in and suit up.
Let's see here, firstborn child. Yeah, we can do that. First home that you've ever bought. Yeah, we can do that. It's like anytime you come to a racetrack, you've got a waiver and liability form that you need to sign because there are some dangers anytime you go to a racetrack, but they're very unlikely to happen. And the safety equipment inside these cars and with the expertise of the Richard Petty driving experience, I am not worried at all. Past or present medical conditions. Let's see, am I, no, not diabetic. No, nutcase? No. Of course, that's kind of debatable. Okay, Brianna, what do we do now?
Look at your driver's license.
My driver's license?
Okay.
Okay.
There you go, as long as it's bad.
All right, my driver's license. Here we go. No major penal convictions or, you know, anything.
All right,
okay.
well, I
good.
just sign the back side of this.
Oh, backside, sorry, backside. There's always a backside. We have to have a witness here?
Yep, that can be me, that's fine.
You can be my witness, Brianna.
All right, you are all set. The easiest way to put this on is to slip off your shoes first and throw it on over your clothes.
Throw it on over my
We'll
clothes.
get started here in a couple seconds.
All right, should I keep my wallet out or in? It don't matter, does it?
Keep it in. It's pretty easy to get to it.
I don't want nobody taking my wallet at the Richard Petty driving experience. That would stink. But you never know about those students. Yeah. This is comedy. Okay. My pants legs are still up at my knees. You got to get them to fall down.
Come on, jump on out.
You dance a little jig. Up here. I'm imagining this right here is probably
So do I look like a professional racer? You sign a waiver saying I'm okay to deal with the stresses of this event. And I'll tell you, driving a race car is a stressful thing because I've been in a little 4-cylinder before, and that's stress enough. Well, this is a 600 horsepower, 3,400 pound stock car at Bristol Motor Speedway nonetheless. So we're talking some serious stress is gonna happen today. But it's a good kind of stress, the healthy kind of stress. Get the good old adrenaline pumping. Ready to go. Well, once you're suited up, it's time to watch a short video on what your day with the Richard Petty driving experience will hold. You learn some of the rules and some of the excitement that lies ahead.
All drivers receive a graduation packet that includes a lap sheet showing your speeds on each lap.
Then it's out to the track where an instructor loads you and a few of your buddies up in a van for a trip around the speedway. Then you're told all the hand signals, acceleration and deceleration points, some more of the rules you must follow, and how to get safely in and out of the pits for your run.
Always looking at that flagman off the corner. See what kind of flag he's got for you. He's got that green flag wound up. Get on the gas. Roll off going into one. Gonna accelerate.
Once you've had a driver's perspective of the speedway and had any of your questions answered, it's time to learn about a 600 horsepower stock car, how all your switches, gauges, and lights operate, and most importantly, safety instruction on what to do and what not to do in the extremely unlikely event of an emergency.
Once that net's up, you can't get to these, so you got to get to that. All right. Another problem you'll have when you get in the race car, they're going to give you the steering wheel. Push it down on there till it clicks down. Make sure it's on good, and then pull back on it. Obviously, it wasn't on good. When you put this thing on, make sure it's down and clicks. Now, to get out of the race car, you're not going to be able to get out of that thing until you pull this right here. That's
quick release.
That's a quick release. All of them have them. All the race car drivers use them. So, you know, I think that there's a couple of guys that actually could wiggle around the steering wheel and get out, but none of us can. I can't. So that's the way you do it.
Maybe Mark Martin could squiggle his way out of there.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Now, the Richard Petty driving experience is committed to safety, and in their many years of operation, no student has been hurt or seriously injured. These guys take their safety procedures seriously, and their track record gets an A+. When we come back, we'll talk to an experienced racer by the name of Brad Knopfsinger, an instructor for our day here at Bristol, plus marketing director Chris McKee about what makes the Richard Petty driving experience such a fan phenomenon. Well, this is Chris McKee. He is the marketing director for the Richard Petty driving experience. Tell me a little bit about this whole organization and just how much fun hundreds of thousands of people have over the course of a year where you guys go.
Well, it started with the vision that Richard Petty and his partner Barry Graham had going on 14 years now, Nathan, and their idea. They started out at the beginning looking for new talent. They really thought that it would be a way to cultivate new drivers for the sports stuff, but they quickly found out that that was such a niche area, and that wasn't going to, the growth for that. You know, people came out of the woodwork, if you will, too, and they couldn't get their arms around that. And Richard really quickly decided he wanted to let the fans enjoy the races on Sunday and come out of the grandstands on Monday and actually have the thrill of being able to get inside a car themselves and go around some of the famous tracks like we're at here today at Bristol. You know, it's one of those things where I think the bread and butter of it is that it's a sport that we all have in common and that we all drive. Not everybody's a football fan, or not everybody's a baseball fan, and you can't go to Yankee Stadium and take batting practice with Derek Jeter and the Yankees. You can't go to, you're not going to be able to go to
the Panthers,
That's right. Where I live in Charlotte, you're not going to go to the Bank of America Stadium and suit up with the Panthers and have practice, but you can actually, through what Richard has developed, put on an actual race uniform, get in a real race car and make laps at Bristol, at Daytona, at Talladega, at Indianapolis, in Charlotte at Lowe's Motor Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Texas. There's 25 tracks that we go to now, coast to coast.
Now, tell me a little bit about some of the reactions that you get out of folks who go through this program for the first time. I mean, it's worth every penny from what I'm hearing.
Sure. There's two biggies. The first one is the oh wow factor, and it's the coolest thing I've done or the greatest thing I've ever done. And then the second thing, you'll find this out today. It's how the new respect they find for the drivers that participate on the NASCAR series. That how do those guys do that for 3 hours, 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon with 42 other cars going around at those speeds, and that they, there's an old argument about whether NASCAR guys are athletes or not. But you make some laps in one of these cars. Our programs are 8 laps or 18 or 30 laps, and it wears you out. You're into, but to do that, to multiply that by another, so in some cases another 50, 60 miles an hour, and add 42 other cars around it, and the focus, the mental pressure, and the stress, and you hear that day in and day out. I can't believe how those guys do it. I have a whole new respect, and I watch races in a different way now too.
Well, I know everybody's heard of the Richard Petty driving experience, and I'm hoping to go through it today. You see it's starting to pepper down a little bit of rain, so we're hoping that that's going to hold off, and maybe it won't last long. But if you've not heard of the Richard Petty driving experience, stay tuned, because you're going to see some fun stuff. Well, Brad Knopfsinger is an instructor with the Richard Petty driving experience. I mean, tell me a little bit about this program. I mean, a lot of folks go through it. It's a wonderful, fun thing that I've heard. I've not gotten into it quite yet, but just the van rides letting me know it's going to be a whale of a run. And you've had serious experience in stock cars. Tell me what brought you here, and a little bit about the Richard Petty driving experience.
Well, I've known Barry Graham for a long time, and Richard. My first race, I actually started alongside of Richard back in 1988. And when they started this school, I was one of the first instructors that they had hired. And it gave me a lot of laps, a lot of good time around a racetrack, and it was actually started out as a driver search. But as we know, there's few drivers versus fans in this world, and we figured the fan base was going to be a lot bigger draw for our company. And we started doing it in a fan-related atmosphere, and we drew a lot of people. I mean, last year I think we ran over 100,000 people through the school, including the rides. The experience you're going to go through today is absolutely awesome. It's still awesome for me today, and I've raced for 28 years, and I still have more fun coming out here than actually racing.
What kind of reactions do you get out of students after they've been through a Bristol experience or a Talladega, one of the more upper echelon that everybody dreams of?
Well, one of the biggest things is trying to figure out what racetrack is the funnest. Everybody asks, where would you recommend that I go? There's a couple different places. Daytona is obviously one, but Bristol's probably the most fun place you can go in the whole wide world. It's like running around Daytona, but in 18 seconds, in our school cars. And the Winston Cup cars, I think they're down in the mid-14s now.
Well, now, Brad Knopfsinger, if you've not heard of him, you're not a true race fan. He's an instructor here at the Richard Petty driving experience, a lot of experience in stock cars himself, and he's having fun with us today.
When we come back, it's time to strap into a 600 horsepower stock car and take to the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway.
Hello, y'all. John Boy and Billy here.
And you're watching Behind Pit Wall with Nathan Anderson.
Well, the Richard Petty driving experience picks your car based on your height and weight. Mine was the number 38 M&M's ride of Cup driver Elliott Sadler. We put a camera in the car, and I awaited climbing in and taking a few laps around Bristol. Well, to be honest with you, it rained all morning long, but it finally dried up enough to take to the track around 2 o'clock. So the Richard Petty driving experience instructors hooked me up with a helmet, a head and neck restraint device, and I was ready to await my run.
All right. Wading through all the rain, it's been worth it. I can't wait for this. I've wanted to do something like this all my life. And I'm finally going to get one of my small little dreams to come true here to drive a 600 horsepower stock car. I don't know if you can hear me for the engine noise and the music, but man, what a wonderful place to be right now. These guys are great. I cannot wait to get strapped into that car.
Like I said, I'm an honest guy. It doesn't look that fast on TV, but I assure you, it feels like a ride in a jet fighter and you are at the controls. You follow your instructor and you get faster and faster every lap. You've heard the word adrenaline. Well, the Richard Petty driving experience definitely brings it out. You quickly realize that the NASCAR drivers you watch every week are pushing their machines much harder than you felt like you were. Roller coasters, bungee jumping, well, you think what you want, but team up with the Richard Petty driving experience, and I'll guarantee it rivals any ride you've had the guts enough to tackle.
instructor to go a lot faster than he went because I was feeling it, man. You hit that pedal and he goes. Oh, I'm sweating after 12. I wonder how these guys handle 500 around this little bit.
Well, I left the Richard Petty driving experience with a whole new appreciation for stock car drivers and what they do week in and week out. Driving in circles, anybody can do that? Think again. Well, hey, to learn more about the Richard Petty driving experience, call 1-800-B-PETTY or visit them on the web at www.1800bpetty.com. Thanks to Chris McKee and everyone who helped us out with our day with the Richard Petty driving experience. And visit us once again for another edition of Behind Pit Wall coming soon.